All right. Well, welcome. So what we're doing today is we're gonna be looking at Bloodhound, right? And we're just gonna be looking at to see like the different attack vectors, different group policies, ACLs, things like that. We're gonna be kind of making a whole bunch of little different videos off of that. All right. So that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing today. And I already have a machine started up. Already have everything ready to go and all that stuff. So we should be able to just move forward here. So if we run scan. 192.168.0.19. Here we can see this is up and running. It is a domain controller. We have port 88 there for Kerberos right there. Looks like a domain controller. We have LDAP here. We have SMB here, right? We have ourselves 5985, which is remote desktop. Okay, so we have a lot of ports on here that can, excuse me, WinRM. All right, 3389 is remote desktops. We have WinRM open. Okay, so we have a lot of ports open here, right? Most likely pointing to us that is a domain controller. First thing we're going to start off with is how to get the domain controller name from that exec. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the video here, and we'll do that one. All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at how to get a domain controller name from that exec. So as long as you could hit the domain controller, or if you're on an internal network or something like that, you should be able to get the name of the domain controller for the domain that you are within. To be able to do this, we just do an NXC SMB, and we can go ahead and we can throw in the IP address there. And for us, it's going to be 192.168.0.19. Once we throw that into there, we go ahead and hit enter, and we will see a domain name is invoke.local for this domain like right here. So from there, we can go ahead and add that into our Etsy host, thus allowing us to perform attacks with the domain name and not the IP address anymore. So if we add that to our Etsy host, invoke.local, and now we can go ahead, we can try to ping invoke.local, and that should resolve into 192.168.0.19, which works very well for us. Super simple, super quick video, but that's just how to get the domain controller name there, domain that you're in, from that exec. Also, we can also see the computer name for those different machines, and that'll be right here. Obviously, this computer name has not been set up, and that's a default computer name from it's actually going to be Server 2022. This is not Windows 10, but Server 2022, and we can see that does pull up our computer name right there, along with our domain name. There we go. One video down. Let me go ahead and actually mark that as getting domain name from that exec. All right. Let me actually just do let's do this whole thing right here. Make your guys' life easier. That's actually gonna make my life harder every time I start up a video. Never mind. Sorry. There we go. All right, cool. So we got one down. There's one thing. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next thing here, right? All right, welcome back. Now we're gonna be looking at null access on LDAP. So if we go ahead and we do an LDAP search, and we do attack H for our host of LDAP, and we do our 192.168.0.19. All right, and let me go ahead and pull up my LDAP search notes here because this next part is a little bit confusing right here. We can go ahead and we can look for something like an object class person or something of that nature. And we already know the domain name for this one, which is invoke.local. So if we go ahead and we grab that and we change this to invoke.local, we'll say object class person. We hit enter. We do not have, did I mess that up like right there? I think I did. LDAP search. Probably have to restart this video like right here. Oh, I have to do our X and B, that's why. Okay. We'll restart this one. Let me go ahead and actually grab this command over here. I'll say I thought there was more to it than that, but hey, that's what my notes said, right? All we're doing today, Rotten Patat, is we're just going through and we're making a bunch of quick, short videos for YouTube. And we're just going to show how to use LDAP search, LDAP domain dump, how like different GPOs and ACLs on Bloodhound that affect different things, how we can actually exploit those. maybe null access through SMB, just things like that. That's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to make a whole bunch of different videos. So I'll just keep going back here and record, start another video. So you're going to hear a lot of welcome backs. That's what my wife always makes fun of me for. Hey, good morning, Mixtape. How you doing? All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at LDAP search. So if we go ahead and we do an LDAP search, and we're going to do that tech H for host LDAP, and then our IP address that we're trying to see if we have null access to LDAP, and then the domain controller name. Okay, we already know a domain controller from this. We got that from netexec. If you don't know how to do that, I do have a video right before this one on how to do that with netexec. And we're just going to look at object class person. Go ahead and hit enter. And as you can see, we actually get a lot of information back. So most likely we are seeing null access is working here. So what we can do from here is we can go ahead and we could try and grep it maybe. So we can grep tag I for description. All right, we see that there's quite a few descriptions in here. Okay, so we have two things that may be user-generated passwords, okay, something like that. And we can also try to maybe do like a SAM account name, and we can see the users on the machine. So these are all the users like right here on the machine for SAM account names. So we could drop that into a text file from there, and then go ahead and we can just have our username list sitting here. So we have everything that we need from an LDAP search like right there. There's also something called LDAP domain dump, which will actually drop it out into a file. Now the problem with this machine is it doesn't really like LDAP domain dump, but the way you would do that is pretty much like this, like right here. All right, we would put in LDAP, our IP address, and then the port, which would be 389, right? 389 is 636 for LDAP. 636 is secure, 389 is not. This machine does not like it though. Some machines, you can do an LDAP domain dump and it'll work just fine. Some machines you can do an LDAP search, it'll work just fine. Or some machines you can do both. All right, so always try out both, always try out different tools. And that's going to be it for that one right there. All right, cool. We are crushing this so far. Let me go ahead and change that file name to LDAP search. And we're actually going to need to do that again. And we're actually going to need to create a username list. So we do LDAP search. Boom, pretty much that like right there, SAM account name into users.txt, right? And then we go ahead and cat that users.txt. And then there we go, okay? We can go ahead and cut that users.txt. And we can save that as maybe, I don't know, c.txt, I think would be the smartest one to save it as. TACF, excuse me. Users.txt, then we'll do a TACF2 because we want this side over here, right? Now if we cat that c.txt, then we should only see this. The reason I need c.txt is just because I already have it for the command sed, like right here, and that's going to get rid of all of our spaces. So if I cat that user.txt now, you can see that we don't have any spaces in there anymore, right? So we're actually going to do that like right there. Then we can do a get MP users, which is going to look at ASREP roasting, which I believe I already have videos on. So I don't need to show ASREP roasting again. Let me go ahead and make sure like real quick. Do I really not have ASREP? I have Kerber roasting, right? I do, but I don't have ASREP roasting. Okay, cool. So we'll make a quick video on ASREP roasting. So we'll do that. All right, cool. So we'll do a quick video on ASREP roasting, like right here. We'll start recording here. All right, welcome back. So now we're going to take a look at ASREP roasting. So we already have this users.txt file like right here, but we don't have anything else with it. We don't have any passwords, anything like that that we know of like right now. So we can go ahead and take this and see if anybody has pre-authentication not required. We can do that with the get users spn.py. This is part of the in-packet toolkit, and we can do that for, get MP users. Get users spn, that's for service accounts. Get MP users.py. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do invoke.local. That's our domain name. Tac no pass. And then we're going to give it a user's file, right? And for us, that is users.txt. We go ahead and enter here. And as you can see, we do get a hash back for this Daria Lindy. So if we go ahead and we take her, all right, I'm going to go ahead and delete my hashcat.pop file because I most likely have already cracked this password. So let's go ahead and remove tac rf. this like right here. We'll go ahead and grab that again. And if you have a bunch, you could also do something like this. Just so you know, you could also save it into like hash.txt. And we can just use hashcat. Now, the newest version of hashcat does not need that tag m. And it'll actually find that password for you, right? It'll actually see that, hey, this is a hash that I can use. And so that person's password right there is Edward. So that is ASREP roasting. That's when someone has pre-authentication not required within a domain. So hopefully you learned something. I'll talk to y'all later. All right, cool. I don't know. Is this stuff too beginner? Am I making videos on too beginner stuff? You guys tell me. All right. I don't know if it's too beginner. I'm going to try to make like a little class here. Okay. So we did that like right there. Boom. And we have Edward, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that into a file like real quick because we are going to need that for later. Yeah, if it's getting too simple, you guys tell me because you guys are the ones that watch. So let me go ahead and echo into a user pass dot text. There we go. Cool. All right. So I already have curb roasting on there also, so I don't really need to worry about curb roasting. But we are going to go ahead and we are going to curb roast up here. So we're going to do a get user SPNs. We're going to do that for invoke.local. And we'll go ahead and do that for Darwa, D-A-R-Y-A .L-Y-I-D-E. And we'll request that, right? Probably are going to need her password, Edward. And it looks like we actually do get some people here, right? So we can actually request. Oh, we already did a request. Okay, clock skew too great. I think I already have a video on this, but let me see. I do not have a video on clock skew too great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to show this like real quick. And be able to fix that, it's NTP date. Okay, and then you're going to pull the date for that other place. I believe it's actually a sudo NTP date. So that one like right there, I have seen a lot of people get lost with like right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to show that. All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at clock skew too great. Whenever you're utilizing Impacket or a tool against a domain controller, if your clock is too far off from the domain controller, you will get errors. So we can see like right here, we do this get users SPNs, okay? We're going to try curb roast someone, right? We got this user, okay? We're going to request it. We already know her password. It's going to be Edward. And we can see down here, we have this clock skew too great. What we could do to bypass this is a sudo NTP date and then put in the domain controller's IP address. Okay, and that'll pull the date and time from the domain controller, bringing it back to yourself. And then we can go ahead and request again. And if you're on a virtual machine, you have to do this pretty quickly. All right, so we're actually going to do that. We're going to say EWWARD. We're going to do this very quickly. Just hit enter. Oh, come on now. Sometimes it doesn't like to work, as you can see. Oh, now I spelled it wrong. Especially when you're on two different VMs, virtual machines, it can really cause problems too. So, yes, you will have it on Hack the Box. You will have it on quite a few machines there. There we go. Okay, so I just copied her password over here, but that's what you do like right there, and you pretty much just get your timing from the domain controller. Now, one thing with VirtualBox is timing will go back. VMware usually doesn't do that. I do not remember the command to make it stick in VirtualBox. But like I said, if you just run that, then run the other one like real quick, you will be able to step your time up. Okay, then from there, you can definitely save all these. You could have saved them before you even dropped the ball or whatever else, and then utilize Hashcat to be able to do what you need to do from there. So I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. All right, so let's go ahead and grab all those like right there. We'll echo that into hash.txt. We'll go ahead and we'll use hashcat again. Hashcat. Well, I'm glad you learned something. I'm glad you were able to learn that one like right there about the NTP date. There's a couple different ones. That's the newest one. It's like there's also an R date, I believe it is. I don't think, yeah, you have to install that, but you might also have to install NTP date, but NTP date is the newest version of it, just so you know. Okay, so it looks like we have HTTP service and Coca-Cola. So let's go ahead and echo HTTP service, Coca-Cola into user-pass.txt. And we are just about on Bloodhound now. I think we're ready for Bloodhound, like right here. Yeah, you might have to do it a couple times. Yeah, you might have to do it a few times, and you have to be like super fast with it, especially if you're on VirtualBox. Mixtape, you have to be super fast with it. So that's why if you just like copy the password and do it, I know you can also put the password into here. Um, I know you can also put the password in here. God, we're just gonna get MP users. There we go. Okay, so or get user SPNs. So if you also do something like this, then you can put the password into here, which will make it even faster. So we could do, because if I do like right now, if I do it like right now, it shouldn't work out right. But there we go. Okay, so you can also put the password in there and just make it a lot quicker, like right there. Captain Coder, how you doing? Song to speech. What song would you like, Captain Coder? And happy Tuesday. How are you? If you guys do not know Captain Coder, somewhere over the rainbow. I don't really. All I know is somewhere over the rainbow. Let's go ahead and look it up like real quick. Somewhere over the rainbow. If you guys do not know, Rainbox, yeah, whatever. Somewhere over the rainbow. If you guys don't know Captain Coder, he is a lot of fun to watch. Codes a lot of stuff. Teacher at a high school, I believe, right? And teaches coding over there. So a lot of fun to watch some of that. All right, all I literally know from this song is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Okay. All right. This is what you picked? You didn't want like Slipknot or something? You picked Over the Rainbow? Middle school, okay. Ages 10 to 14. But yeah, a lot of fun to watch. It's a good song. Somewhere Over the Rainbow is a good song. All right, I'm gonna sing like these two first verses, like right here. We're gonna do like the first two. All right. I'm also listening to Pearl Jam like right now, so I have to pause that, or else it's gonna start sounding like this. Like somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah. All right. Let's get a little Eddie Vedder into it, you know. To this day, she was born. Whoa. Oh yeah. All right. So somewhere, right over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do, they do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, away above all the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere, over the rainbow. Birds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? We're gonna stop like right there, okay? Because it's the same verse repeatedly. Um, I mean, I can tell her why she can't fly because her bones are not hollow. That is why she cannot fly. She does not have wings, feathers, or hollow bones. I mean, that song is actually super easy to start breaking down like right there. I don't really understand the where troubles melt like lemon drops. I don't understand that one like right there. I mean, I haven't had lemon drops. I don't think since my grandmother died. I'm also 38 years old, so I like whenever people are like old, right? I'm like, they're like 40, 50 years old, and they talk about like their grandmother dying, and then people are like, my condolences. Motherfucker, she would have been like a 200 years old like right now. What are you talking about? My condolences. You can add that to your Spotify. My son, he's 5. He has an awesome song that he sings all the time. And he just starts going, my little booty cheeks, my little booty cheeks, my little booty cheeks. And I want to record it one day and just put that on Spotify and see how many people download it. There's no clipping? Really? I didn't know that there wasn't any. I don't know. Did one of the admins shut that off? Probably one of the admins shut that off for whenever I get going on my rants. Probably whenever, like, if we clip this, we're gonna have problems. Yeah, Captain Cody, if you drop that's what I'm saying. If you drop your codes into the like my Discord, like Chad B Noob's Discord, people will 100% try to crack it and like add their own lives and things like that, and try to like change like how it actually works and stuff. All right, let's let me turn this Pearl Jam back on. I like how Eddie Vedder. So this has nothing to do with hacking over here. I actually have a quick little story about Eddie Vedder, right? If you guys don't know, Eddie Vedder is the main singer of Pearl Jam. Okay, if you guys know who Pearl Jam is, they've been around. I think late '80s, right? Let me see here, early '90s. They were part of that whole grunge thing with Nirvana and everybody else, right? Let's see here. When did Pearl Jam come out? 1991. Okay, so late '90s or early '90s, right? Yeah, they were part of that, Nirvana, Green Day, just that grunge style music. Oh, I never really liked Green Day, but that grunge, Soundgarden and all that, right? So Eddie Vedder, that's this guy right here. Okay, he when I was in the unit 2-2, right, Second Battalion, Second Marines, the Warlords, all right, over there at Camp Lejeune. Okay, when I was with them, our commanding officer was best childhood friends and still friends with him with Eddie Vedder, right? So there's actually a magazine that the guitarist actually has the 2-2 Warlord sticker on it, right? And so this guy, he like would send us stuff like on like when we were on our deployment and everything in Afghanistan, he would actually send stuff like 222, like just the unit, right? It was pretty awesome. Um, they also had a concert around that time, and we actually had a VTC with them. So we had a video teleconference, right, with them, and we got to sit there and watch the freaking Pearl Jam concert from this VTC, and the people in the crowd could see us, and it was pretty awesome time. I'm actually on that VTC with just what was called silkies, and I'll show you what Marine Corps silkies are, so you know how much skin is showing. Marine Corps silkies. All right, those these are silkies right here. What this guy's wearing. Okay, those are silkies. Those shorts. Okay. Um, they actually like the Marine Corps actually like banned them. Like we aren't allowed to wear them anymore. That's how short they got. And the shorter they were, the funnier it was, obviously, and just everything. You can see everything, right? It was just, it became this huge joke, right? But yeah, the Marine Corps banned them. That's like how bad it got, right? These are all silkies, like right here. The guy carrying the cart back there, those are silkies, all right? So you can see like how bad that got, right? And I'm actually on video with a pistol strapped around me to my thigh, right? Silkies and no shirt on, fixing the VTC, fixing the teleconference portion of it, right? Fixing the phone for it. Because something happened, I forgot what happened, but the phone pretty much went down. So I'm fixing that, but I'm on this jumbotron. It's just me, no shirt, silkies, fixing this thing, and boots on. That was it, my pistol. So that was a funny one. Especially when I saw myself on the TV on the jumbotron. I was like, oh my god. I was like, you gotta be kidding with me. All right. let's continue on here. What are we doing now? Oh, we're gonna do Bloodhound. Bloodhound's next. So let's make a quick video on running Bloodhound. Go ahead and make sure that actually, I don't remember why I even made a video. I just made a video and I don't remember it was even on, like right there. Made on something. Anybody remember what I just made a video on? Clock skew, too great, right? Clock skew, too great. Okay, there we go. So that was a good time. All right. Now we can finally look at Bloodhound, right? So let's go ahead and do Bloodhound here. I actually have user pass.text. And I'm just going to go ahead and actually start typing it in just so I could, I don't know why I just did like that. Bloodhound Python. We have invoke.local, right? Attack U is going to be, we can take any user that we want. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll type in Edward here. And we'll go ahead and we'll type in the IP address. We'll hit enter, then we'll stop it. And we'll go ahead and we'll make a directory called blood. All right, cool. There we go. Thank you very much, Mixtape. I forgot what I made my last video on. All right, here we go. So we'll start up this one. All right, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at Bloodhound through Bloodhound Python. All right, so if we start to go ahead and do a Bloodhound Python, we can do the domain name, all right, which for us is going to be invoke.local for this machine. We can do our username, who we already found, that user, right? We ended up ASREP roasting this user, but we have her password there. The name server, so what IP address does the name server belong to, right? And then the collection method, which is all. Now, one thing with Bloodhound Python is that if you're having problems running it, right? So if we do a Bloodhound Python tac help, you may have to put in like tac gc, all right, which is a global catalog host, okay? And that's going to be the host name, all right? You might have to put in tac dc. You might have to do a DNS TCP, all right? You just got to kind of play around with it depending on what the domain controller actually wants. But for this one, I believe this should work like right here, and it does if we go ahead and we drop a bunch of stuff, right? So if we do an ls-tac-la, we can now see that we have now dropped all these different JSON files. Now, how do we run those, right? Let's go ahead and start up a new window here. And we're going to do now if you have Kali Linux, this is already built into it, sudo neo4j console. And we'll go ahead and we'll type in Bloodhound. And if you haven't set up neo4j console yet, you'll get a little site. I believe it's 7878 or something like that you gotta go to 7474. You have to go here, you have to change the password, things like that, right? Once you're done with that, you'll go ahead and you'll type in Bloodhound. You do have to log in for your first time, but I just have it as save password. And what we're going to do first, we're actually going to clear the database because I don't know when the last time we used this was. So we're going to clear the database. And once that's cleared, we can upload our data. We'll go to home, desktop. This is on invoke, blood, and we can upload all these different JSON files here. Once these JSON files are uploaded, then we can start to look at different things that we could do within Bloodhound, right? So some of the nice stuff about Bloodhound is you do have this little analysis over here. You can go ahead and try to find, let's see here, shortest path to high value targets maybe, if it has any, all right? And you get a bunch of information here, right? This does look extremely overwhelming, but if you start to break it down, right, or start to move it really away from each other, things like that, start to break this all down and everything, you can actually figure out a lot of stuff that's happening around here. All right, so we see some users over here. We have 2 users over here. So really, we want to actually try to figure out how can we become Hildegardi or whatever, and Darisi. Okay, we want to figure out can we become those 2 users. Those are 2 users that we want to look at like right there, right? Those are high privileged users. Okay, we also have this user like right here, which is administrator. Obviously, we want to become them. Okay. We can see different groups in here. What different groups are they running, right? So we obviously have domain admins. We obviously have administrators. Okay. We also have our, let's see here, what group is this? Server operators. We have our print operators, account operators, group policy creators. And we can just kind of start to look through this guy and see, okay, cool. Who do we want to become? Where do we want to move to, right? We go back to analysis. All right. We could do something like source path for domain users to high value targets. or something like that, right? Nothing was returned for that, so we'd have to start to work and see how can we actually do something like that, right? See if there's any Kerber roastable users. Now this, just because sometimes we'll say that there isn't any, but we can see that there are 3 Kerber roastable users on here, which I do have videos on Kerber roast. Okay, we can see a ASREP roastable users, which we do see that, all right? And we can just start to kind of work our way through this thing. We can click on different users and see what are they able to do, right? And see if they're able to actually run anything, what memberships they have. Okay, so this person right here is part of marketing and also domain users. All right, we can look at derivative local admin rights, first degree object control, group delegated object controls. So that means that marketing can do something, right? They're a member of marketing who can do generic all, right owner, and a right DACL on different users. We kind of start to break this down, right? I do have a whole video on Bloodhound. It's like a 15-minute long video, so I'm not going to go too deep into this, but it's kind of like a Bloodhound wave tops. But the more you play around with Bloodhound, the simpler it gets. And when you're looking at something that's huge, like I did one earlier, it had 2,000 users in it on Hack the Box Academy. Um, Once you kind of understand what you're looking for and you understand how to, just kind of just break those little sections off, make your life a lot easier. And that really just comes with utilizing Bloodhound a lot. So hopefully you learned something, and I'll talk to you all later. All right. So this is actually a great user to actually have for the beginning, right? We have marketing over here. We have all this, and we also have a first degree object control, which is a right DACL over accounting. Which what that means to me is that means that we have a great starting point with Daria here, right? We have a whole bunch of different things that we can do here, right? So I believe I already have right DACL though, videos. I'm gonna go ahead and see like real quick. Let's go ahead and find out if I already have those videos. Oh, sorry about that. YouTube, what's going on here? What you hack in, hide from Indonesia, does just show attack pass. So Tim Nim, we are going to, yes, it does show attack pass, okay, pretty much. You do have to do your own kind of research because so I'll just do like real quick, no video running. If we right click on this and we go to help and then we go to Linux abuse or Windows abuse for Windows, it actually shows us what to run. Now, just because it shows us what to run doesn't mean that this is exactly correct because some of these are older. All right, like the um, the commands are older, so you might have to mess with the command like a little bit. You might have to actually look at the help screen, some of that. So you do have to do some of your little own research, but it's pretty close to the same thing. So you could definitely, yes, okay. You could definitely follow an attack path here and just kind of work your way all the way through, right? Because if we have a right DACL accounting and then we go to accounting, we can actually see, do they have anything? Is there any point in going to accounting, right? They do. Okay, they have a first degree over Agenta Erda. They have a right owner. If we go to her now and we just keep working our way down, right, we can see, does she have anything? She has these transitive. That's nothing that we want. She has this. So, and she has first degree group membership of sales and domain users, but it doesn't really look like she has anything that we actually want, right? We might want to get to that user. You never know. We might want to get to that person, but it doesn't really look like she has anything that, is really going to be like, oh yeah, like this is who I want. So maybe that's not the best attack path, like right there. Maybe we go back to our normal user there and we go from there, right? Which was Darwa or something like that. I don't remember what her name is. Remember, we do have 2 accounts on this also, like right now. I'm going to take a break here in a second. My throat's starting to get dry. Right, so we might want to follow that other attack path that we saw with her, where she has a different with the group delegated ones, right? Maybe this marketing one, like right here, we have generic all over 1, 2, 3 people here, and we can start to look at those 3 and see what can we do with them, right? Transitive object control, this will show the entire attack path, right? So we have they're a member of sales, they're a member of office admins, that's probably a really good one, right? Office admins, right? IT help desk, probably a good one, who has generic all over executives, that's a huge one, like right there, you know. Um, we authenticate users, okay, don't really care about that too much. But we're starting to see different paths that we could take to be able to get to different people. In real life, your job is to get to domain admin, right? Because if we can get to, let's say, executives, and like executives might be, maybe better than domain admins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if we get to domain admin, yeah, we can obviously get into the executives. But if we can't get to domain admin, but we can get to executives, and we're able to see like transactions, like finance transactions, emails, all that stuff, in real life, you're doing a penetration test and you're able to read the executive's emails, that is huge. That is something that or if you're a malicious hacker, and you're able to read the executive emails. You just gotta have to wait now. That's all you gotta do. You just sit there, you just wait, and yeah, see what happens. Usually what I like to do is I like to put the people that I find as domain admins into a file. So I'll go to this analysis, right, and I'll say, hey, source paths from domain users to high value targets. Maybe try something like that. Okay, nothing in there. Source path to high value targets, right? And we saw those high value targets over here, right? We saw those two users like right here. So I like to put their names into files just so I don't forget them. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is who my endpoint is, hopefully. But if I never get there, that is okay still. We may not get there today. I have no idea. All right. And remember, we also had HTTP service in here too, right? Which a service account, that is always huge. Always big to have a service account. Okay. Because he definitely has generic all over executives, a right owner over office admins, right? He has, let's see here, accounting, sales, but service accounts are usually some really, really good ones to have. Service accounts usually also let us create usually silver tickets and things like that too, right? So we can also create silver tickets and stuff. Um, and we can do a lot of different things like that. They're usually trusted to delegate and stuff, so we can usually get some really good stuff with service accounts. We may have to actually change a password here because this script like right here is totally random. So you may not have an actual attack path to domain admin, but that's not our objective today. We're just looking at these different problems here, right? So like a right owner from one group to another group, or a generic all from a group to a group, or a generic all from a group to a user, right? Things like that, or right owner from a group to a user, just things like that. That's what we're looking at today. So let's go ahead and get back to that other person. And I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break because my throat just keeps getting drier and drier. And I will be right back after a quick break. We'll take a commercial or whatever. We'll do a quick commercial break. Sorry for that long-winded answer. That was over on YouTube, that question. What's up, Yankee Axe? How you doing? If you guys do not know Yankee Axe, he is absolutely fantastic. Um, is this how I do it? Absolutely fantastic. Usually works with wood and stuff like that. Really calming to watch. I also like to work with wood. He's a lot better than I am, and he likes to use like old school techniques and things like that, which is pretty awesome. So he rarely uses power tools and stuff. A lot of fun to watch. I'll definitely check him out. He is a blast to watch, just for. Okay, so it is like that. Commercial 180. Okay, I will be right back. All right, we're back. Let's go and hop back into this like real quick. So let me go ahead and click on that person to make sure. Okay, cool. And we'll go ahead and we will start another video. All right, welcome back. So now we're going to be looking at Daria here, and let's go ahead and see what they can do. We have our first degree group memberships, but I really want to look at is this first degree object control or this group delegate control. So we do have a right DACL over accounting. We'll right click on that. We'll go to help. We'll go to links abuse, and we want to try to add ourselves to this accounting group. So to be able to do that, we're just going to put that in there. Okay, we have our DACL edit action right members, principal, our controlled user, who we've already found, right, is Daria, right? Our target DN, and this is going to fail, I think, the first time because there's some things in here that doesn't actually need. I believe it's just target, not target DN anymore. Okay, so our target, which is going to be accounting, right? That's group we want to add ourselves to. Our domain, which is invoke.local, and then our controlled user here. And our controlled user, again, is Daria with a password of Edward. We'll see if this works like right here. Okay, so now our DACL has been modified. All right, so we modified that DACL. So now what we can do is we go ahead and add that user to a group with that RPC. So we'll hop back over to here. And we have our target group, which we know is accounting. Our target user, who we know is Dara. Our domain, which is invoke.local. Our controlled user, who we know again is Dara. Our password, which is Edward. And then lastly, the domain controller's IP address, which we know as 192.168.0.19. And we do that. Now we can go ahead and we can see if that member has actually been added to the group by using that RPC again, just to make sure. If we don't get any errors, usually they are added to the group like right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit Control C like right here, just because we have counting, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we just pretty much want to get rid of this, like right here. And that looks like everything that we need to get rid of, right? Oh, I don't think we want that. Yep, we just want RPC group members, that's why. RPC group members. There we go. And we can see now that Daria is now added to that group, right? So that is what happens when you have a right DACL over a group from a user. Hey, hopefully you learned something. I'll talk to you all later. All right, cool. So we now added that person, right, to that group now, right? So we can go ahead and check out accounting and see if they can do anything here. And they actually can. They actually have a right owner over someone. So now we'll go ahead and we'll check out right owner, right? So if we actually go to help, we go to links abuse, we can do an owner edit plus DACL edit, and then lastly a target curb roast, or also try to force change that password, okay? Now, one thing with this is that all these, you're going to hear this again in a second, these tools are in the shutdown repo on Impact, which I actually have a whole video on with shutdown repo on Impact. Let me go ahead and make sure I actually change the name of that. Like, oh, I didn't change my last name. Okay, so running Bloodhound Python. Let me go ahead and change the name of this one, or else I'm going to get super confused whenever I go to upload these. Okay, and then this one like right here, that was a right DACL, right? That's what we just had, right? Was a right DACL? All right, cool. So far what we've done, just so you guys know, is we got the domain name from NetExec. We did LDAP search with null access. We did ASREP roasting. We did our clock skew, being too great. We ran Bloodhound Python, and we've lastly did a right DACL over the accounting group there, right? So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a right owner, and hopefully we get it in one shot, right? If not, we gotta do the whole thing all over again. All right, welcome back. So now we're gonna do right owner over Agenta. Okay, so we have added ourselves as a accounting group. If I go to help here, I go to links abuse, we see we have an owner edit and also DACL edit. One thing with this, as of note, is all of these, this owner edit, DACL edit, these are all part of the shutdown repo and Impact. I do have a full video on installing that shutdown repo from Impact. All right. So let's go ahead and grab that owner edit, or grabbing what you need to grab from that shutdown repo. So let's go ahead and we'll throw this in there. Now I have all of mine already set up to where they can obviously be called for without having to give it the full path. All right, our owner, who is our attacker, is going to be Dara Lindy because she actually falls within that group, right? Our target, or our victim, is going to be, let's see here, looks like our Jenta Etta. Now if we just right click on her, we can go ahead and grab this, so we don't have to try to remember it. And then obviously our last part here, which is our domain, user, and password. So we just go ahead and grab from up top. We're just going to put a colon in instead of a percent then sign. So we're just going to do something like this. So we can go ahead and hit enter here. Hopefully we get out the first try. All right, so owner is unrecognized now. All right, let me see here. It is now, it's not going to be new owner, I don't believe. Or it actually may be new owner. Like I said, some of these are older commands. Okay, there we go. So it's new owner now. So we got our new owner there. Okay, so now we own this user, this Jetta Erda. Okay, we now own that user. So if we continue to look at this right owner, okay, we can do a DACL edit, all right, which will then allow us, lastly, to be able to change that user's password. So now what we want to do is the DACL edit, all right. We're going to do our action right's full control because we own the user, but now we want to get full control over that user, right? So our principal, our controlled user, who is Dara, that's who we control, right? Our target user, who is the one that we're conducting the attack against, which is Agenta. And then lastly, our domain and then the password, right? So we go ahead and get rid of all that. We go ahead and copy it from the top up here. We just take that like right there. We'll throw that down here. We'll enter. All right. Now DACL has now been modified. Now that we have modified that DACL, we can now conduct a targeted curb roast, or we could also do a force change password. Let's go ahead and try that targeted curb roast first, even though I don't think we're going to be able to get a crack their password, but we'll give it a quick try. All right. So we got invoke.local, our controlled user, okay, who is Dara, right? Because we haven't changed that person's password yet, we don't know it. And her password is Edward. We go ahead and try that, okay? And it doesn't really seem to like that targeted curb roast like right there, although it did see the Sissy Lynette. It did see that like right there, so it is saying, hey, we do actually have target curb roast on a couple people here, but it didn't really seem to like that very much. And we also got her too, but just doesn't seem to like it. So what we'll go ahead and we'll do is we'll just do a force change password, and we'll use NetRPC to be able to force change her password. So our target user, all right, that's going to be who we want to attack here. Good boy, Dragonoff. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll take this user like right here. Now remember, Windows does not care on a username about case sensitivity. We'll give her a new password of PSNSW0 ! Another thing to realize is that you do need to follow what Windows says the password rules are. You do need to follow those. So don't just throw in something all willy-nilly. That's right, I said willy-nilly. Fight me. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll copy that up there. We'll throw this down here, right? And then we'll throw in lastly our domain controller IP address. Oh, actually we just got clock skew 2 great. So I'm actually going to try that one more time. 0.19, because we're actually getting clock skew 2 great. So as we learned in our last video, we know how to do something with that, right? And since we did not get anything back down here, we did just change that user's password just to check like real quick. I just do a quick NXCSMB on there, tech U, this user like right here, tech P, and we can see that we can log in through SMB, so we have now changed that user's password. Now, since we got this clock skew 2 grid up here, what we can do is just like we did in our last video, we go ahead and do our target curb roast again. Now, this time it will obviously work because we now changed her password to something that, we know, right? But we can go ahead and do our sudo ntp date, hit enter there, and then hit enter up here. And there we go. We have now done a target curb roast attack. We can grab all these hashes like right here. What we can also do is just try to save that to a file, okay? But we get a bunch of hashes in here, right? And we can try to crack those hashes. Now remember, something as of note, if we go into echo that whole thing into hash.txt, it's going to freeze for like a second because there's so much crap in there. All right. Something of note is that hashcat now, you do not need to do that tag M anymore as long as they can figure out what the hash is. Okay. So we do see that we do crack one password, which we did crack before with a get user SPN. I actually don't even know if that PSNSSW0RD exclamation points even it is in there. Okay. So we've now cracked her password, which we just changed, so we already knew it. But that is what can happen whenever you have right owner over even from a group, because we belong to that group, right? Our Daria owner belongs to a county group over a user. So now we can do whatever we want to that agenta user. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll talk to you all later. All right, that was pretty good, like right there. I like that one. That's always a fun one, like right there. All right, that's always a fun one. My mic's gonna die soon, I think. It keeps beeping at me, but it usually beeps at me like an hour before it actually dies. So I don't know if it actually is going to or not. It just likes to beep at me, I think. I think it just doesn't like me. All right, let's go ahead and see what's next. We had, for that Dara owner over here, we had a bunch of our stuff that we could do. And I'm going to stop here soon. I think I just heard my wife brush her teeth, so I'm about to head to bed. We have right owner, which we literally just did right. Then we have right, well, we haven't done generic all yet. We already did a right DACL right. Yep, we already did that. Then we do our target Kerberos, or we can change the password. We already showed that, okay. Let me go ahead and update that video, which was right owner. Okay. And from here, we'll go ahead and we will do a quick generic all. Generic all is pretty easy, which that's actually on that sissy one like right there. So that one should be pretty easy, okay? We could just do a force change password generic all, or we could do a target curb roast. We'll go ahead and show us generic all like real quick. All right, welcome back. So now we're going to be looking at generic all. Okay, so we have our user over here, all right, that we own. So we can go ahead and mark that as owned. All right, and we have a generic all up to this user, Sissy Lynette. Okay, so if we right click there, help, Linux abuse, we can go ahead and do a target curb roast attack on that user if we want to, or we could also change their password, all right? So if their password is crackable, we could do it through target curb roast. If not, then we're just gonna have to go ahead and we're gonna have to change their password, as long as we have permission to do that, right? So let's go ahead and do a net RPC password, okay? Our target user. And like I said before, if we go ahead and we right click on that user, then we don't need to try to remember how to spell it, because we could just grab their username and we could throw that over into here with password. We'll go ahead, we'll change it to that, right? I usually like to change everything to save that password. And we'll go ahead and we will, let me go ahead, cat user pass.text. And we have invoke.local. Our controlled user, right? Who do we actually have that we can control that has permission to do this? Edward is her password. And we have our domain controller, which is going to be 192.168.0.19. Okay, and as you can see, we didn't get anything wrong back, so we can go ahead and do an XC SMB on there, tag U. We can throw in her username. If we get an error back, that means that did not work. Tag P, throw in this password like right here, and we should see that we do get a plus sign for being able to log into SMB, and we can. All right, so we get that plus sign, which means that yes, we did just change their password. So if you all learned something, I'll talk to you all later. There we go. Okay, and that is generic all. Generic all. All right, cool. What is next? We got any other cool ones in here? Did I already do right owner? Yeah, I already did this, but did I actually do it for that user though? Because I wonder what this user could actually do. Can this user do anything? Sales. Nope, they can't do anything. Okay, go back to her. You can see how confusing this can get very quickly if you're not, paying attention to what you're actually doing. Who am I actually on like right now? Okay, I'm on her. Okay, cool. We already did right DACL. Could Franny do anything? Franny actually can. She has generic all over Jamina, which we've already shown. Could Jamina do anything? Jamina has a right owner over her because she's a member of accounting. Okay. Nothing really too crazy in there. Okay, so she can't really do much. So we already checked out Franny, Pita. Sissy I haven't really checked out yet, have I? What could she do? Oh, she's part of IT help desk. Huh, that's good stuff for us, huh? Executives and then office admins. So we have generic all the right owner, which we just showed those two. So office admins. Let's go and see what these guys can do here. How could office admins not do anything? Okay, they can. Okay. Generic all over Jemima and Lori. Can these two do anything? Nothing. Okay. Office admin. Because that might be it for this video, like right here. That's what I wondered. Jemima. She can't reach any high value targets. Nothing in there. She does have a group delegate control, though. She has a right owner over a jet. Yeah, because she's part of a county, so we already did that person too. So, okay. That might be it for like right now. Let's actually change one of the passwords just to show more stuff in here. What's going on here? Hello. Just asking, how you doing? Let's go ahead and check out a HTTP service. Powered by IT Help Desk, who has generic all executives. We already know that. Then a right owner over office admins. Okay. Executives, we already figured out can't do anything right. Nope, executives suck. Okay, they can't do anything. And then from there, office admins, we also already figured out cannot do anything right. Yeah, because neither of those two could do anything right. So I would have to change someone's password here just to be able to do something with them. So like I said, this is just a script that is just completely random. So we keep getting back to that person, huh? It's just what we keep doing. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing pretty good today. About to end the stream here in like a little bit. I think we're about to show one more, maybe a let's see here. Maybe show it a DC sync. Maybe change one of the passwords and do like a DC sync, and then go from there. Because we have done, let's see here. We've done generic all, right owner, right DACL. Those are pretty good ones like right there so far. We've done Azure Roasty. We've done Bloodhound Python, LDAP search, getting domain name from NetExec. We've hit up a lot of so far. Let me go ahead and see what I have in my notes for Bloodhound. Because I know I have a bunch of stuff in my notes for it. Bloodhound, Bloodhound information, DACL right, power view, DACL right, like that, DC sync, force change password. I don't think I saw that anywhere, force change password. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? I've already done a video on changing password over SMB, generic all over computer. That's from Windows, like right there. Generic all over group with PowerShell. Generic all over machine. Generic all over policy, which this doesn't have it even in it. So I'd have to actually open up this box. You got like right here, baby 2 to show that one. Generic right PowerShell, we already showed that. Right owner, right owner, right owner. Okay, cool. Over a group and then over a user. Okay. So I think that might be, we have certify with Bloodhound. Could always do certify. I've already shown Bloodhound by hand. So let's just go ahead and show how to run Bloodhound maybe with NetExec. So you can do an IXC, LDAP, and I have to actually remember it like right here. So we can do an NXC, LDAP, boom. Then we can do a TAC U. I guess we could just use this person right here. TAC P. And then I'm just going to try it. Bloodhound. NS is going to be... Actually, I don't know if I actually need NS. I should just have to say collection method all and see if that works. Okay, we might need an NS. The name server. Okay. What is that saying? Connected domain. Are you sure LDAP service is running on the target? Yes, 100% is. I know sometimes Bloodhound doesn't always work with this also. With NetExec here. I have to like try something like that. Nope. Error connected domain. Okay, cool. We're still able to ping it. I wonder if we actually have to put in like a domain name in here or anything like that. Like, I feel like we would have to. DC list, TAC D. Let's try something like this, like right here. I know that this is still not fully updated, so does not like that for Bloodhound, does it? It keeps asking if LDAP service is running. It obviously is. Definitely is, like right there. Which is kind of strange. I don't know why it's going to port 445 though. Default port 4 is 389, which is correct, obviously, for us, like right here. I wonder if we have to do like attack M or something like that. What modules do you have? LDAP. DC read, get group membership, lapse, user. Okay. Just want to see if had a module in here for something. No, we are not. You don't want to know. We're actually about to stop, like right here. We're actually just about done with this one, like right here. This was just more or less just messing around with something. Hey, thank you very much, Candy10, for the subscription. We've already would have gone on a machine like 10 times. You don't want to ask in. What if I do a tac no SMB? Okay, I just want to see what happens if I did that, like right there. What if I just get rid of all this? Just say Bloodhound. Nope, okay. Just want to see if that would work, anything like that would work on it. But it doesn't seem to really like Bloodhound through NetExec like right now, which I know is still being worked on, things like that, so who knows, you know. Can't even tell you did it at the wrong time, man. I'm about to head out here. Probably drop everyone over to what is it, to over to B7H30 there. Yeah, I kind of want to show it through this, but whatever. We could always do like a was it ASREP or whatever? See if that actually works with it. Oh, it probably needs like a user's file, huh? Probably needs like a file. Yeah, it does not like getting through to LDAP through NXC for some reason, even though LDAP is obviously up and running on that domain control like right there, because we obviously did everything else through LDAP. So, but it does not seem to like it very much. That does it. There's 389 like right there. So it does not seem to like it though at all. 192.168.0.19. Yeah, it's pulling the right everything correctly. Oh, he ended the stream a while ago. Oh, whoops. Who else is streaming? But yeah, NXT does not seem like LDAP. I know LDAP also takes a really long time to do stuff. So, sorry in there. That was the very first thing we did. Already did that. We can also add the computer name in there. No, that's always the very first thing I do. Yeah. No, we're just not getting anywhere with that guy like right there. He's trying to go the whole thing though. Whatever. But that's problems you come up with, right? So that's why LDAP domain dump and everything else exists. Well, I never actually showed LDAP domain dump with an actual user, have I? That's the machine name. Machine name and domain name. Yeah, so I didn't actually show this like right here. If you guys have never seen this before, in case you're wondering what the hell this is, you can do something like this. Throw domain users HTML in there. You can actually get an HTML format output like this. So I think I'm going to show LDAP domain dump like real quick because that's a pretty cool tool also. We'll go ahead and remove tag RF, everything that says domain something. So let's go ahead and show that one like real quick. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll start up in the recording. All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at LDAP domain dump. So we've already looked at LDAP search. LDAP domain dump is another tool that could be used. This time we're going to throw in a username and a password with that. All right, we're attacking 192.168.0.19 on port 389, which is LDAP, right? LDAP not secure there. We go ahead and enter, and it says that we finished that domain dump. If we do an ls-LA, as long as this domain user's HTML does not say 905, you pull something down. Okay, so we can go ahead and Firefox that now. And we can see that we have dropped now, instead of LDAP search trying to look through everything like that, we have now dropped everything into a nice HTML format like right here. And we do see that we do have these couple of users that have their passwords already generated and things like that that we may be able to mess with or figure out what's going on with them, further look into those users like right there. So that's going to be about for this one. I'll talk to you all later. There's that one like right there. And that's for LDAP domain dump, right? Forgot I didn't do that. Okay, cool. And yeah, a lot of people know about LDAP search, know about LDAP domain dump. Where am I from? America. All right, so now we have, let's go and try these different users. We have this person right here. Let's go and see what they're able to do over here. All right, not really seeing anything in here that's pointing out to me. We do have first degree move. Okay, group delegated, marketing, right owner, right DACL. Yeah, we already did all that, like right there. So nothing really. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. This is breaking down the whole thing for you, in case you're wondering what's happening here. So it's telling us that we're part of marketing, who has those three. We have Sissy go into IT help desk, which can go into executives. Just breaks down the whole thing for us, like right there. Just makes it a lot easier to look at everything to try to be able to figure out attack path there. And we had another user in here, and that was this user like right here, Lori Marcelina. Okay, let's go ahead and check her out. She has, yeah, she's actually useless. She has nothing. All right, cool. Well, yeah, that's going to be it for today then. Let's go ahead and let's head over to InfoSec stream, see if anyone's streaming like right now. It's just me. Okay, let's go ahead and see who's on Twitch like real quick, and we'll drop everyone over somewhere else. So the Captain Coder is on, so we go ahead and rate him. YouTube channel may help me get some brain wrinkles. Hopefully, we shall see. I wouldn't depend on it. I wouldn't watch it. The Captain Coder. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid the Captain Coder. He was just in here a couple minutes ago, so he's doing some good stuff over there. Let's see here. And yeah, everyone over on YouTube, you all have a good one. Ashtainment, as always, good to see you. Let's go ahead and you just want just asking. Thanks a lot for stopping by again. Seeing you in here a couple times. Mixtape Must, thank you very much for stopping by again. Candy10, hey, thanks a lot for the subscription at tier 1, especially since it's your first time chat. Thank you very much. Dragonoff, thanks a lot for stopping by. Yankee Axe, thank you very much for stopping by. Always good to see you. If you guys don't know, definitely check out Yankee Axe. I think Entertainment already dropped his link in there. Rotten Patat, thank you very much for stopping by. I will talk to you all later. Don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. We shall see. Um, but yeah, I'll talk to you all later. You all have a good one. And check out the YouTube channel because I will be uploading all those videos onto there within, today/tomorrow. All right, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you all later.